Please like and subscribe. Let's grow NAIA basketball. Thank you. Cascade Hoops Talk, bringing the world NAIA basketball one podcast at a time. Well, Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D, it's Thursday. Last night, boy, tons of games. We're going to get through the highlights, talk about some of the surprises we saw last night, update you on the standings, and then we're going to have Chris Wright, Langston University Lions. They're undefeated. They're 17-0, and of course, Grace went 19-0 last night. We're going to talk about that. So let's try to get through these games, go talk about any important changes that happened. Big game last night. Up in Mishawaka, Indiana. Grace went up there, and Bethel, wow, they gave them everything they could handle. They took a first half lead. Looked like they were red hot and rolling, but Grace played really well in the second half. They out-executed Bethel down the stretch, and Bethel walks away 19-0. Big Elijah Malone, 11 points, 14 rebounds. Jacob Gibbs, he had 20 points, 6 rebounds. Congratulations to Grace, 19-0. That was a big test. Then they have another big test on Saturday. The Knights of Marion are going to come to Winona Lake. So the Grace Lancers just keep on rolling. So Bethel now is 15-4, and they're going to play Goshen on Saturday. So in the Crossroads, real quick, the standings, they don't move too much, but Bethel now is 3 games back of first place. So them and Huntington are getting a bit back. They might be battling for second at this point. In the KCAC, tons and tons of action. Oklahoma Wesleyan, they defeated St. Mary pretty handily. Jaden Litsky, 18 points, 11 rebounds. Dylan Phillip, 11 points. Oklahoma Wesleyan, they go to 18-1, and they're going to play Bethany on Saturday. Southwestern wins also. They go to Tabor. That's never an easy task. Jarvis Jennings, 15 points, 4 rebounds. Tabor did a good job. They kept Kevin Clark under 19. That's a feat in itself. Southwestern, though, they go to 16-2, and they're going to play at York on Saturday. So let's take a quick look at the rest of the KCAC. No real surprises here. Ottawa beat Avila. St. Mary won Sterling. And biggest one here, Kansas Wesleyan continues to win. They beat Bethel 72-69. Looking quickly at the standings, Oklahoma Wesleyan and Kansas Wesleyan are a game apart. Southwestern's another half game back. Those 3 are really locked into a battle, and we'll have to keep an eye on that. In the WAC, Lourdes wins again. They go to 16-1. They go to Siena Heights. They win 71-61. Sean Monroe, big night for him. 24 points, 4 rebounds. Ethan Danram, 12 points, 5 rebounds for the big guy, big 6'10 center. They go to 16-1, and they're going to play Aquinas on Saturday. Take a quick look at the rest of the games. Cornerstone beat Madonna. That was a big loss for Madonna. And Lawrence Tech wins again. Indiana Tech beat Clary as expected. So what did all that do to the standings? Lourdes and Madonna are a game apart. So Indiana Tech's one more game back. So Lourdes, they owe Cornerstone a cup of coffee, it looks like. Over in the Southern States, Mobile, they get beat again. They lost to Thomas at Thomas, 77-75. Jalen Lee with 16. Andre Lightborn, 16 as well. And he throws in 4 rebounds. Mobile now is 15-5, and they're going to play Faulkner on Saturday. The only other game in the Southern States, Life beat Point. So Tennessee Southern, they're kind of getting a stranglehold. They're really separating from the rest of the pack. Right now it's Tennessee Southern and kind of everybody else. in the southern states. That is really beginning to look like a battle for second. Chicago, Roosevelt, they win again, 86-63. They're 17-2. Forte Prater, 12.6 assists. Julio Montez, the second, 14 points, 2 rebounds. They're 17-2, and they'll play Calumet Saturday. Number 22, Olivet Nazarene, they go down again. They go to 13-5. They lose at St. Ambrose, 92-84. Adam Agot, 19 points, 5 rebounds. Grant Mason, 14 points, 3 rebounds for St. Ambrose. So Olivet Nazarene's got to regroup, and they're going to play host Judson on Saturday. In the rest of the Chicagoland, Indiana Southwest won. Indiana Northwest. Judson beat St. Xavier. That was a good win for Judson. And let's go over to the standings. So Roosevelt is getting that separation. And then look at this bunch up for second. It is a bunch up. So that's another race to really watch over the next few weeks. Over in the GPAC, Northwestern, they had to go into the Corn Palace, but they got the win, 68-60. Alex Van Kalsbeek, 28 points, 9 rebounds. Zach Lefebvre, 19 points, 8 rebounds. It's a good win anytime you can go into the Corn Palace and get a win. They go to 16-4. Big showdown. They're going to host Hastings on Saturday. And Morningside, they hosted Jamestown, and they got beat. I tell you what, Morningside, Jamestown, that's always a good game. 88-83, the Jimmies took it. Silas Binion, 25 points, 5 rebounds. Cole Woodford, 20 points, 3 rebounds. Morningside goes to 14-5. It doesn't get any easier. They're going to play Concordia next. In the rest of the GPAC, pretty much as expected, Dort wins at home. That's a tough place to play. Midland beats Doane, and Concordia wins. So Hastings now is a full game up on Northwestern and Morningside. And then one game back is Concordia. In the Sun Conference, Florida Memorial defeated Southeastern, 82-73. Darius Ward, 15 points, 4 rebounds. Latavius Mitchell, 20 points, 10 rebounds, 16-3, and they're going to play Kaiser on Saturday. In the Sun Conference also, St. Thomas was victorious, and Warner beat Coastal Georgia. And Ave Maria wins again. They beat Weber International. So Ave Maria is one game up on Florida Memorial, and then almost the whole rest of the conference is 3-3. Let's keep going. In the AAC, Pikeville continues to have a hold on this conference. They won again. Johnson wins again. Here's the big game out of this conference. CIU got beat by Bluefield in overtime. That was a costly loss for Columbia International. You can see Pikeville's up one whole game on Union, but that was a really costful loss for CIU. Johnson, look, they've sneaked right up there into the top of the standings as well. We're gonna have to keep an eye on that conference. It's really heating up, but Pikeville will not relinquish that lead. Over in the Heart, I kind of joked on Twitter. I said it was Adam Hepker Day. Wrong. Go back. Adam Hepker Day. Let's see if I can get this back up. So look at this. Central Methodist got beat. Baker got beat. Graceland got beat. So they were all bunched up, but now Mid-American Nazarene has one game on that whole bunch right there because they all went down tonight, all 3 of them. So Mid-American Nazarene now leads the Heart by 1 game. Okay, I know I went through that pretty quick, but you guys got the point. So we're going to listen to Chris Wright. He's going to talk Langston Lion basketball. As I said, they're 17-0, 11-0 through the first half of the Sooner Athletic Conference and just heading into the second half. So let's take a listen to Coach Wright. Cascade Hoops Talk, this is Billy D. Hey, I got Chris Wright. He's head men's basketball coach, Langston Lions. Hey, Coach, thanks for being on the show.
Hey, Billy D. Always good to talk to you.
So we were just talking before we started, at the start of the year, you had brought a bunch of guys together. It looks like it took a little bit of time to gel, but I mean, it's really since the first of the year, you've been beating quality teams, and I think the last 5 games, your margin of victory is around 40. Just talk about where your team is at right now.
Yeah, so I'm obviously in a lot better mood today than I was when we talked after Thanksgiving. We started 5-0, but I was really, really concerned. I was like, man, we're not any good at all. And as the years went on, I felt like we've gradually improved. I think in conference right now, our average margin of victory is like 29.5 points. And so I've been really pleased with our guys. I think that we have a very unselfish team, but now we're getting to play the way that we envisioned we would.
You've always played a lot of guys. You've always kind of mixed up the starting lineup. Do you feel like you have a rotation? It's hard to see it from the outside, but in your mind, do you have a rotation that you believe works for you and you're being more set with it?
Yeah, I mean, I think our top 9 is pretty clear. And typically that's kind of my preference to play 9 guys, a bulk of the minutes. But the biggest thing for us, we just don't ever want our guys to get comfortable. And so I think, having a starting lineup that does change, guys know if they don't bring great effort and have really good attitudes that they're not going to play. And so I think that's been a big part of our success is just our staff's willingness to hold those guys accountable to those things.
One of the things you're doing really well is offensive rebounding. Talk about your philosophy and how are you getting that done? I think you're getting 13 a game. Did I read that wrong? Yeah, I think about 13 a game.
Yeah, and so kind of over the last 5 or 6 years, my philosophy's changed a little bit. When I was younger, I always wanted to send 4 guys to the glass.
Yeah.
Offensively. In our last 3 years, I feel like since we've gotten really good, we've only sent 3 to the glass. And just really trying to be stingy in transition defense and not give away easy ones. So I think for us to average over 13 rebounds, sending only 3 guys to the glass is really been really big for us.
Coach, you talked about you play a lot of guys. You had, like you said, you have 9 guys that played over 200 minutes so far. But really your anchor, at least if you watch the team from afar, Anthony Roy every night is there. Just talk about his game. That guy is shooting the heck out of the ball. What are you feeding him?
Hey, I wish I could take some credit for that. It's called good recruiting, Billy D. He shooting in conference play. He's shooting almost 57% from the field and 54 from 3.
Yes.
And what's crazy is, for people that just might look at our box scores or not watch us play, I thought he was a pretty bad defender early, and he's turned into a really solid defender. He's moving the ball really well. He's been, put up big numbers, but been very, very efficient doing it. And so I think he's just built a lot of positive habits, and it's been really cool to see him have the success individually that he's had.
Yeah, he takes almost half his shots are from 3. I'm surprised he doesn't take the other half from 3, shooting at that percentage. But, boy, he's tearing it up. And it's better since conference. I mean, he's improved throughout the year with his 3-point shooting.
Yeah, dramatically. I mean, I think through his first 5 games, he was shooting 19% from 3. And so on the year now, he's raised it to 44%. And, I think some of it's just him getting comfortable and understanding where he's going to get certain shots from.
One guy I don't think gets the credit for your success is it Torudine? How do you pronounce his first name?
Yeah,
Torudine. He's your point guard. He's got a 2-to-1 assist ratio, but he's very athletic. He distributes the ball. He moves your offense. I think he's really key to what you do. And he's not a huge scorer. Sometimes he becomes high scorer, but I don't think he gets as much credit as some of the other guys.
No, I think he's very, very overlooked, in my opinion. I mean, I think last year for us, he was a 3rd-team all-conference guy, which I'm not sure how that is when, you win the league by 4 games over everyone and 6 games over the 3rd-place team. He's very underrated in my opinion. I mean, he's just tough. He's a floor general. He's extremely unselfish. And if you look at his numbers, I think he's about 9.5 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. But, he really is the key to everything that we do defensively. And so, I feel like he's the best point guard in the country. I really do.
Coach Wright, you're halfway through the conference. You're Sooner Athletic. Just talk about that conference this year.
I feel like it's a very balanced conference from top to bottom. Right now, if you look at the difference between second place and sixth place. It's a half a game. And so, every night it's competitive. Every single road game you play, scares you. And I think there's a lot of good coaches in this league and obviously a lot of good players. And so, I like where our league is. I definitely think that we'll get, 4, possibly, 5 teams in the national tournament this year.
Yeah, you mentioned the standings. You're starting to get a little bit of separation. You're 11-0 in conference. You're 3 games up on Science and Arts, Mid-America Christian. Well, anyway, there's 5 teams that you're basically 3 games up on. So that's over the half the conference. And then just like the other, who was it? Oklahoma City beat who was it? John Brown the other night.
Yeah, last night.
Yeah, last night. That's right. And so I guess what I'm saying is it just seems like, it's anybody can beat anybody, right?
Oh, for sure. And that's, I look at our schedule and I think we have 7 of our last 11 games are on the road. And so, you worry about games when you go to Sagu, when you go to UT Dallas. Obviously, we go to Oklahoma City on Thursday. And, you could easily lose any one of those games. And so I think that's going to be the challenge for us, is just to realize that, we have to bring it every single night.
Yeah, I'm looking at your schedule right now, and you just said it. But you Thursday you go to Oklahoma City. Like I say, they just beat John Brown. Then you go to then you host John Brown. Then you got Sagu in Waxahachie. And then you got UNT Dallas. Oh, and then Mid-America Christian. Boy, you just got a cakewalk, Coach Wright.
Yeah, that doesn't give a guy a lot of sleep at night. That's for sure. And obviously you look at some of those games, and we played pretty well the first time through. And so, I know that when we go to Sagu, that those guys are going to be ready for us, right? When you go play UNT Dallas, that was our first loss there last year. Oklahoma City on Thursday, same thing. And so, yeah, there's not a whole lot of rest in there, that's for sure.
So, Coach Wright, last season you kind of surprised the world. You went over to Langston. Everybody knows the story. What was it? 2 wins in 3 years, or whatever the number was, and turned it around, won the conference. What is the mood and the the culture now on the Langston campus? Is it just accepted that you're a basketball power? Is it still an exciting thing? Does it still have the buzz? What's it like?
Yeah, no, I definitely think, we have a very passionate, very supportive alumni base. Our students are unbelievable. And so we played so many home games. Our school gets out for Christmas break at Thanksgiving. And so we played about 6 home games with no students. And so to have them back is huge. And, in our 2 years here, we've never lost at home. I think in only 2 of those games have been single digit games. And so, so I feel like that's a huge advantage, being able to play at home here. And I think that we get a support and a following that, only a few NAIA schools across the country really get.
You're north of Oklahoma City there. What about the Langston community, that area? Are you starting to pull fans in outside of the student body?
We are. So I live in a town called Guthrie. And so it's about 12, 15 minutes away. And so I've had a lot of people from the community there, really start to come in. And, in town of Langston, there's not really much, right? It's the university and a post office, and that's about it.
Right.
But yeah, no, I think it's been really cool to see how, the community is connected with our guys. And it's been really special to be a part of.
So, Coach, as we said, you're rocking and rolling the last 5 games. You have an average win of 40 points. What is it going to take for the Langston Lions to finish strong in the Sooner and be set to be able to compete for that national championship? What are the things you have to shore up?
From a basketball standpoint, honestly, I really like how we're playing. I want to continue to improve, I think, in every facet of the game. Defensively, we've gotten tremendously better over the last couple of months. But, again, our goal is always to be the best defensive team in the country. Mm-hmm. So, I'd like to see a little bit more consistency there. We've kind of built some big leads and not closed out games, even over the last 5 games, the way I would like to. And so obviously that, and just staying focused and hungry, right? When you have a lot of success, it's very easy, I think, for teams to become complacent. And so I think that's really the biggest thing our coaching staff is fighting right now, is getting our guys to understand, if you don't bring it every night, you're going to get beat. It doesn't matter what's happened the last, 17, 18, 19 games, however many it is. We know we have a target on our back, and just want to continue to stay focused and kind of go 1-0 every single day.
That's funny you said that, because that's the next question I was going to ask you. With getting, you're on a string of 40-point wins. It seems it's very hard to keep the focus when you start doing that. And that seems to be when teams get picked off.
My wife tells me that I'm never happy with how we play. And so hopefully that helps us a little bit, right? Just continuing to stay focused. But no, you're right. I mean, that is the challenge. And, again, I think just with the culture that we've built here and, just the discipline that we try to play with and the discipline we try to, just go about our work with every day. Hopefully that really shows up right now when it would be really easy for guys to, kind of fall off a little bit.
Yeah.
But we know, right? It's the old saying, you're never as good as you think you are. You're never as bad as you think you are. And, so getting our guys to understand that's going to be key.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate you giving me a couple minutes to talk Langston basketball. We'll keep an eye on you. You're one of two of the last unbeaten teams in the country. I'm assuming that doesn't mean a lot to you. You want to win the conference and just get a good seeding, I'm sure. But it's got to be kind of cool to be one of the last two standing with no losses.
Yeah, it is. It is. Obviously, to play 17 games and not have suffered one is we're really blessed. And it obviously would be great to go undefeated in the regular season for sure. But I know the odds of us dropping one or two somewhere is really, really great. Mm-hmm. And so, if we do drop one, you never want to lose, but it's not the end of the world. Again, we just want to continue to be playing our best basketball at the right time.
Well, Coach, I wish you a lot of luck as you continue on there in the Sooner, and we'll keep watching your progress and hopefully get you back on as this thing begins to wrap up a little bit down the season.
Hey, Billy D, always appreciate you, sir.
Well, thanks a lot. That's Chris Wright. He's the head men's basketball coach, Langston Lions. Thank you, Coach. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAIA school, because NAIA basketball is the best entertainment value in America.